Hey,
I don't know
everybody.
why I insist on doing that. I actually do forget that my voice is gone.
Yeah, your students probably say, Miss Hunt talk too much, but that's nah.
I have told them that for real, that I just talk too much. I mean, but we do. We talk a lot. Anyway, hello, everyone.
Hey, everybody.
We've missed you guys.
Yes,
Hopefully
yes, we
we've been
have.
missed.
Yes, we have. I'm James Hunt,
I am Jaqua.
and we are the Hunt for Harmony. All right. First, we're not pastors, ministers, counselors. We're just we're marriage coaches who've been through a lot in our lives and want to share some things with you in hopes that it will, help you in some rough spots because we've been through ours.
Yes, we
And
have.
if we can get through it, we know everybody else can too.
Yes, you can, if you want to. So, first, hopefully, like I said, you've missed us. No, actually, it really doesn't matter if you miss us. Because we've been charged to do this, so we're going to be here for the long haul. And anyway, a couple of weeks ago.
It's been about 3 weeks or
Has
so.
it been 3? I thought it was more like 2.
Roughly 3.
Okay. So about 3 weeks ago, we spoke about disconnecting from your spouse. And recently, within the last, 2 weeks, we got information from a couple with whom we had worked that the wife was ready to call it quits. And despite knowing all that they had been going through and dealing with, it was still sad. I didn't think to myself, good for you. Because usually when somebody's being mistreated and, they make a decision to do something, I'm usually like, good for you. But it wasn't good for you. I felt sad. And I feel sad. So we decided that we would speak a little bit about when to call it quits. When to call it quits. Because you're in this marriage and you're thinking, okay, this is not working. It's just not working. And I'm tired of trying and I'm done. And so you're ready to walk away.
And we're not talking to everybody, of course. We're talking to people who are pretty much in a normal marital situation.
Yeah. And I hope you know what we mean by normal.
Yeah. Just a regular, everyday
yeah.
disagreements and can't get along kind of thing.
Right. We're not talking about abusive situations.
Right. By no means.
No means. So, not at all. This jam is not for you.
We just wanted to make sure that you got that straight.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes. We are not saying stay in an abusive situation. Wade, he will change, she will change. That is not what we're talking about.
Right.
Okay.
Now, when it comes to when to call it quits, in our opinion, you never should call it quits.
No,
Again,
that time doesn't come.
In the normal situations, in the normal marriages where there's just disagreement and not getting along. And
right.
So we don't believe that there's a quitting point. Mm-mm. Like you said before, we talked about, disconnecting, and that's when you start to separate yourself and, that wall starts being built between the two of you.
Right.
And the emotions are going away and the feelings are going away or being put on the back burner because they don't go away.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll put a link to the last video about disconnecting. Once you've gotten to a point where you have disconnected from your spouse, then it seems like the next logical step is to just be done, to call it quits, to divorce, because you're no longer communicating, you're not doing things together, you're pretty much avoiding one another.
Right.
So once you get to that point, it seems, and I would say in the natural realm, that is the next logical step.
I mean, naturally, yes.
Naturally.
And that's why you have to, as us, we are believers, and being in prayer, and it took a lot of prayer and a lot of faith and just trusting the Lord and believing that it will get better. Even though it felt horrible going through it, we continue to utilize the faith that God has given us.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So, and I think that is probably the number one thing you would have to do to overcome this, because naturally you're gonna be packing your bags and catching the first thing smoking. All right.
Things smoking.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, but we do want to acknowledge what's going on.
Right.
So we would suggest the first step is don't pretend.
No.
If things are falling apart, don't pretend that they're not. Don't pretend that, when you go to work that everything at home is cool.
Or when you're in an environment where there are groups of people.
Right.
Yeah, if it ain't cool, it ain't cool.
Yeah. If it is not good, then it's not good. So don't pretend. Don't pretend. So that would be number one. Acknowledge what's going on. And I would say if you can, if there's any type of communication between you both, acknowledge that with one another.
Right.
Don't sugarcoat it. Don't act like things are not what they are.
And as humans, we're very prideful people.
Yes.
And one thing you don't want to do is allow pride to make you quit.
Right. You don't want that to be the reason.
No, because you will think about that for the rest of your life.
Right.
If I had just done this, if I didn't have so much pride, and the Bible tells you that pride goeth before fall. So, and pride has hindered a lot of marriages from excelling, a lot of people from progressing individually because of pride.
Right.
So you cannot allow pride to be a deciding factor in this.
Right. And then along with pride is emotions. Emotions are dumb. You can't listen to your emotions. Your emotions are erratic. They go up and down. And of course, they're based on how you feel, not on what you know. So you cannot make a decision like what you're going to do with your marriage based on your emotions. It's going to affect not just you, it's going to affect children if you have them, it's going to affect another person, it's going to affect
Correct.
so many things around you.
Not just you.
Not just you. So again, we're not saying stick it out for all those other reasons. We're saying take it into account. Consider these things and don't just base it on how you feel. Because of course, if someone is irritating to you and you don't like them, then you don't feel good about them and you don't want to be with them. So you cannot rely on your emotions.
And that's a good point, because usually when you're in situations like this and you've already started to disconnect, and that's been going on for a while, you meet other people,
Yeah.
and those people pique your interest. You're like, oh, she's nice, or he's nice to me, and you start falling into that trap. And that would be a reason for you to say, yeah, you know what, I'm done.
Right.
I'm done with that, because now I want to move on. I got somebody I could be with and be happy with. But to me, you shouldn't quit, because you will never be able to give that next person what you gave the first person. Because
What you mean?
when you decide to marry that person, you were just hopelessly in love.
'Tis true.
Okay? And you were given everything within you,
Yeah.
because you love that person.
Yeah.
Well, that next person is not going to get that same thing.
Yeah.
It's like a drug. You get high that first time,
And then you're
and
constantly
then you're
chasing
looking
the
for
high.
that high, and you'll never get that high again. It's not going to happen.
Right.
So the same thing comes, to your feelings and your emotions and the love that you give. Not to say that you wouldn't love the next person,
Right.
but it's not going to ever be the same type of love.
Right.
That's why you hear people saying, I still love my ex-wife or my ex-husband. We're still friends. We get along. But see, that lets me know that marriage still had hope.
Right. You just stopped trying.
You just stopped trying.
Right. Yeah.
Does that make
Agreed.
sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I wasn't sure where you were going, but yeah, I agree. It makes sense.
Okay.
Makes sense. So then after you have done that, you've acknowledged you're not pretending anymore, and you're not allowing pride to make the decision for you, and you're getting out of your emotions, then get some help. Don't just rush to get a divorce.
Before that, don't find reasons.
Oh, okay.
Don't look for reasons to quit. Okay? My aunt is sick and she needs me to come live with her, and this is the perfect opportunity. You know, she really needs me, so I'm out so I can go to help her. You know, I need to work another job to help my father, or whatever. Don't find excuses to give up.
And when you do find those excuses, don't be to acting like God gave you that.
Yeah, because God didn't do
God
that.
didn't do that. Oh, well, we wouldn't have met. Well, I think God brought this person into my life. No, he didn't. No, he did.
Satan tempted Jesus. I mean, don't you think he would tempt you? You're nobody compared to Jesus. You know, so yeah, don't allow reasons. You know, don't find reasons to quit.
Right.
Okay,
right,
I'm sorry.
right.
Go ahead.
Okay, no problem. So once you are to that point, get some help, because I will say this: even if you and your spouse both agree, you know, we're done, we're calling it quits, you still need to sit down and talk to someone, because if you're getting a divorce, then get a divorce. Don't get don't be in this, you know, well, we're still married, but he lives over there and I live over here, and sometimes we hook up and that kind of thing.
That's called a separation, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
That's called separation.
Right. And we've said so many times before, separation can be a good thing. Sometimes you need to separate so you can work on you and I can work on me, but we need to have a planned separation so that at some point we're coming back together.
To try and make it work again.
And during that separation, I am working on some things. You are working on some things. It's not just, oh, we can't stand living in the same house.
Well, I couldn't stand living in the same house.
Really, and I could.
She couldn't either, but I can only speak for me. No. But we slept in separate rooms.
Yeah.
You know, for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Because we didn't want to
accidentally touch.
Right. We didn't want to, because if you accidentally touch, then things happen, you know? So we slept in separate rooms. And until we finally got our heads together and decided that we needed to make this thing work the way that it should be working.
Right. So get to it. More work to be done. And really, I think a lot of people find themselves in this situation. I mean, I can think of two, like right now, of couples we've worked with. And sadly, as we ended with one of the couples, we said, here's where it's headed if.
Right.
If this is not done, and this is not done, and this is not done. And unfortunately, some of those things
were not done.
And so here we are.
But again, is that pride? Is it selfishness? Neither of those things can be a part of a marriage when it's going to be successful.
Right.
All right.
So if you need some support, if you need some help in navigating these waters, that's what we're here for. That's what we do. So please reach out to us. You can reach out on
The Hunt for Harmony.
TheHuntForHarmony.com. In my mind, I wasn't thinking that. In my mind, I was thinking, send us an email, which you could send us an email.
You can send us a message on Facebook.
You can send us a message on Facebook, or you can go, the easiest thing is probably to go to the website, www.thehuntforharmony.com.
Right.
And there's a contact page, and you can send us some information there. And I always respond. Well, you know what? He's getting better. Sometimes he responds too. But so I should say, we always respond one way or another. If you are at that point, because it's not an easy thing to do, and sometimes you just need a conduit, and we can be that conduit. So if you need some support, please reach out.
Yeah, sometimes you need some different ears.
Right.
You know, than what you're normally around. Okay.
Right.
Somebody with different opinions. Mm-hmm. Somebody who's going to be unbiased.
Right.
Okay. We're not going to pick sides.
Nope.
We're going to tell you when you're wrong.
Yeah.
And when you're right.
Yep.
Okay. We'll tell you those things. So, yeah, reach out to us if you need us, if you want to talk, get some things off your chest. Just let us know.
Please do.
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for viewing We appreciate the new listeners, new viewers. Please share us and like us, to your family, friends, colleagues, because, some of these things may not apply to you, but somebody out there can be blessed by it. So please share and like. All right. And subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Like right now. Press the
right now. Go
subscribe
ahead,
button.
subscribe. Click it down.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, we'll see everybody next week at 7:30 here on The Hunt for Harmony. We thank you again and look forward to next week.
Bye-bye.
Hey, y'all have a good night.